What is it? It's a magic little ring that allows you to use any of your Nikon lenses on your Canon EF EOS body or C100, C300, and anything else with a Canon mount. Now, we've had these for a while now. I even have one of these regular dumb adapters, which allows me to use these old, but still great manual focus Nikon lenses. The problem is if I tried to use this on a newer Nikon autofocus lens, I would have no way of adjusting the aperture because they don't have the aperture ring on them anymore. But this adapter does. It actually allows you to use this little pin that every Nikon lens has had built into it to override the aperture. So I'm going to try to answer a couple of the questions you should have about these because yeah, it's the cheaper alternative. This seems to be another case of where China comes, finds a good product and makes it for a fraction of the cost and have us, you know, praising them for, you know, destroying our economy. I don't know. But by fraction, I do mean a fraction. The more popular types, like the Novaflex, I believe is one of the more known ones, is a couple $100. This one right here, $17. So quirks aside, it's really, really hard to beat. Now, number one question is it built well? Well, it's all metal. So, seems to be yes. There are a couple moving parts, obviously. The one that I've had an issue with thus far is the little pin that releases the pin, or the lever that releases the pin to unlock it from the camera body. Now, it's not a big deal. I know I have to make sure that it's never loose, but it has a way of kind of telling you it's loose, because if you use it, the little lever gets stuck under the little lip and you have to pop it out. So I don't think that'll be an issue because you can always get it off the camera, no problem, because that's the camera's mechanism. But to get it off the lens, you might see, oh, that pin's a little stuck there. Okay, pop it out, done. So I'll just demonstrate for you how it goes on. So you get the pin, put it behind the pin on, lever, I'm sorry, on the lens, snap it in. It goes on nice and tight. It is really snug and I like that. Now, how well does it go into the camera? Well, you've got your little red dot to line up. Goes onto the camera nice and smooth, but not nearly as snug. It's not loose, but it is not snug. But the little test I have is that I just press down the lens a little bit, and it does come away from the body the tiniest little bit. But I'm not concerned about that because I'm never pressing down on my lens while I'm shooting. You can see, I don't see this thing coming off. It seems pretty much solid. Tiny, tiny bit of play. I don't see that messing anything up. So I'm confident that it will not have any of my lenses fall, and I'm not gonna go and put a 70 to 200 2.8 on here without lens support. That would just be silly for any adapter. So it does that. Now, how smooth is the aperture control? Well, really smooth actually. It's actually really loose when you don't have it attached to anything, but once you attach it to the lens, it seems to tighten up. And it's got a very tight, very smooth feel to it. Does it hold its positioning? It does seem to hold its positioning just fine. So it does seem to do the work. It does seem reasonably well made. One little extra quirk is how do you get these things off? You gotta press that little lever, and then I've managed to figure out how to do it with one hand. At first I thought you needed three, but you gotta take one finger, press it down, another hand holds that, and then just wrench it off. So I can do it pretty quickly now, but the first time you do it, yeah, it's a little weird, but it will come off. Another user did note that his came with a whole bunch of grease on it. I do notice there's a little bit of grease inside the moving metal parts to keep it fluid, but mine seems to have the perfect amount. Don't see any excess anywhere. It's not getting anywhere near the lens element, so I'm fine with that. And the one other little interesting thing about using one of these is that while you don't necessarily need them for the old AI or AIS or non-AI lenses, it does something to them that you wouldn't have had before. And I'm not a fan of iris ramps while shooting, but you can now do them with these like you can with the other autofocus lenses, because using this overrides the clicking. You don't need the clicks anymore. You open it all the way up, and this now takes over. Or actually, I forget, you open all the way, close all the way down. No, there we go. Wait, no. You open it all the way up, and now this thing works. Yep. Wait, no. No, that's not how it works. Yeah, that's it. You set it to f22, at least on this particular lens, but I think 22 is the magic lockup number. So you get the nice smooth adjustments with these. So this adapter will literally work with, I believe, any Nikon lens and put it onto any Canon EF body. So it's a nifty little thing. This is so inexpensive, you can basically have, you know, buy each one for each lens and basically just consider that lens to be a Canon lens from now on. And you don't have to worry about this little lever part, because that's only if you got to take the adapter off from the lens. So it's now just a regular old Canon lens that does Canon lens kind of things, except for autofocus. So that's a little adapter review. Hope you enjoy it. I'll link you to it, and keep on shooting.